Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And today I want to talk about sleep. There are so many people that have trouble sleeping, and you don't realize it until you start talking to people about it. I never used to have trouble sleeping, and over the last couple of years, as I've gotten older, my sleep patterns started to change. And as I discussed on the last podcast, my husband left me 2 years ago. And after he left me, night times were the hardest. It's as if every thought, every worry, everything that bothered me would come out at night. And I tried everything. If you look at my bedroom today, I always joke that it's a self-help fulfillment center at Amazon because I ordered everything. I have an acupuncture mat. I have meditation tapes, I have essential oils, I have lights, I have an infrared blanket. You name it, I have it. You name it, I've probably tried it. And it's not that all these things haven't helped. Yes, sure, sometimes melatonin helps, sometimes lavender helps, but there was something more deep within me that lacked the peace that I needed to fall asleep at night. And I think that's what happens to a lot of us. When we hit the quietness of the evening, the stillness, we really feel ourselves and we feel the things that are causing us pain. We feel the things that we're worried about, we're afraid of. And then our mind starts going in a loop. And because there's nothing to distract us, there's nothing to do, and we know we're supposed to try to go to sleep, we can't clear our mind. And many of us stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, or maybe it just happens to you once in a while. But nighttime is a clearing. It's a time for us really to let go. It's a time where we honor ourselves and respect ourselves enough to put down all the things that happen during the day and nurture ourselves and quiet ourselves and rest. So when we wake up in the morning, it truly is a new beginning. It truly is a new moment. And I remember there was one beautiful passage that I read in Mark Nepo's book that really helped me. Mark writes, "The truth about morning is that it is the small light of the beginning breaking through again and again. It is a wisdom so large and clear, one which carries us through our lives so quietly and completely that we seldom see it. Day after day we are covered with the dust and grit of what we go through. It tends to weigh us down, and then we think and scheme and problem solve. Then we worry if it will all really work, and if it is the right thing to do. It all makes us dark and cluttered. But despite our stubbornness of concern, we tire and must turn what has happened over to the hammock of night. This is a good thing, for no matter how unfinished we seem, the letting go into sleep is nothing short of a quiet miracle. This letting go into sleep is an innate, reflective form of meditation, no different than a fly rubbing its face or a doe licking its fawn. Sooner or later, without discipline or devotion, despite our resolutions and mistakes, we each must sleep. We must surrender to the quieting of all intent and regret, so that the small light of the beginning can rise in us again and again." And there was something about this passage that moved me so deeply, because it allowed me to see that my night ritual and how I woke up in the morning had absolutely nothing to do with what was happening in my life. It was a ritual of cleansing and honoring myself and letting go into the night so I could begin again in the morning. And so there might be a lot of reasons why you don't sleep at night. But if it's your mind, and if it's your thoughts, and if it's your worries, if you could change how you think about it, that it's a sacred time that we get to put it all down, that we get to put it aside and really feel who we are beyond our thoughts, beyond our experiences. It's a very soulful time. And when I started to think about these things, my breath changed at night. I would have this routine that I would breathe very slowly and deeply. And I would start to really feel my body. I would feel my toes and my knees and my arms and my legs. And I would just breathe there. And I would be filled with hope. because I knew this was my time beyond everything that I had experienced. And it was quiet, but it was quiet not because there was loneliness. It was quiet because it was sacred. It was quiet because it was my chance to reset. And I knew that the sun would rise in the morning, and it would be a new chance for me to begin again. So no matter what you're going through today, if you lost your job, if you're having an issue with your kid, if you're feeling isolated, if you're worried about the pandemic and the nighttime scares you, it's because you're bringing all the dirt and the grime and the problems into your nighttime ritual, into your bed. But it's that moment where we could really let go and be free for an hour, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, not be burdened by the outside world. It's the time where we could really go so deep within ourselves to our inner landscape and experience who we are without the loss, without the pain. We could feel the things we still hope for, and we could feel all the possibilities. They're always there for us. And I know I always say this, but uncertainty is your best friend. Because if you don't know what's going to happen next in your life, it has to happen in the unknown. And I always saw that. I always felt the hope. I always felt the maybe. And after a while, the nighttime became my favorite place because it was that moment where I could let go of everything. There would be some peace in the night, and there would be a new beginning in the morning. And a great exercise for when you go to sleep is to feel your body and relax and breathe slowly and think about the things that are bothering you and realize that you don't have to deal with them in that moment. In that moment, you have some time. And it may not be that much time, but some time to put it down, to have some space to rest. We all need time to rest. And see if you can get some separation from all these thoughts and all these worries. Sometimes I like to see them as clouds and imagine myself as the sky. And everything is just passing through. And sometimes I'm able to let certain things go. And other things I realize I'm just putting them down for the evening. And that's all fine. And as you find more peace, you realize that you are not these thoughts and you are not these experiences. Yes, you feel them, and yes, there's pain. But there's something deeper within you that's so soulful that nothing can touch. And that's the place you'll find your rest and your peace and your reset and the strength. So when the morning comes, you will start anew. Like Mark Nepo says, the truth about morning is that it is the small light of the beginning breaking through again and again. It is wisdom so large and clear, one which carries us through our lives so quietly and completely that we seldom see it. There's something about the morning. There's something about the first breath that we're aware of. There's something about resting and resetting and know that we're going to have the ability again to talk to people, to meet people, to engage in new experiences, new creativity, new moments, new understanding. There's something so exciting about that. Even when there's pain, even when there's anguish, there are always other moments. So I hope you try this or think about this if you're not sleeping, and know that your fears and your worries will always be there for you the next day. But it's such an honor and a love for ourselves when we allow ourselves to put it down and we allow ourselves to reset and to let go and to believe in ourselves and to believe in life and to believe in something more that we can't always see. There's a mystery at night, a mystery when we sleep, and a beauty when we wake. And I know I always talk about maybe, but these maybe statements help me so much. And I always think before I go to sleep, maybe everything is okay. Maybe I could accept what is happening and be open to new things that come into my life. And before I close my eyes, I always say, maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you could email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. And if you'd like to buy my book, The Gift of Maybe, it's available at all major bookstores and online retailers. And if you like this podcast, you could subscribe and leave a comment.